High frequencies. We are ready for the full moon. I'm in my full moon ritual attire, and I am getting ready to go through the dreams. Put an S at the end of that. It was many. And I'm getting ready to go into it. But yeah, I'm getting prepared for this full moon energy. Just like, the full moon, it regulates like the waves of the ocean and the water. And so the electromagnetic energy of the moon, and being that we are, I would say as adults, we're about 70% water. The moon also has this type of connection and regulation with us. So even like the tides of the ocean and the seas and the water and rivers, those tides also run through us. So we may feel, the ramping up of like the waters, how the waves increase because of that electromagnetic energy from the moon. And that connection, because we are water. We are just like the oceans, the seas, the rivers. So you may feel your energy ramping up. You may, even like for me during this time as a woman and being a Cancer as well, I get bloated during this time. And I feel really full and even doing more movements for my spine and my back is needed during this time because I'll feel everything just expanding. So those are some things that you need to do. If you haven't already, then do you some full moon movements, okay? Get you some full moon movements. The first part, I'm getting ready to go into my dream, but the first part of my dream is about my mother. And as you all know, if you've been following me, my mother transitioned last year, May 18th of 2020. And this is one of her tops that I'm wearing this evening. And if you look at it, it looks like those voodoo veve. Especially, my favorite is Urshly Frida, but it looks just like that, and it's amazing, that it has that embroidery on it that looks just like it. So, in honor of the energy of my mother, and of course this dream, I am wearing this for the full moon. I'm wearing this today, and I'm going to wear it tomorrow, and I'm going to wear it Sunday for the full moon. But yeah, going into the dream, so get dropped into the dream. And I'm just going to start where I'm starting to remember. And my mother was on the left side of me, and I was on her right. And now this was like her energy body or her spirit body. Her physical body was laid out in front of us. And I was like picking it up or something and moving the arm, and it was heavy, and it was just, just like, of course, dead weight, because it was her body, her physical body did it. So I already been gone. And so I was trying to move the arm, and I was telling her, I was like, I can't move this body. You're going to have to move it. This is your body. You're going to have to move it because the weight of it is just too much for me. You're going to have to do it. And so she took, and I remember holding the arm part. I remember the right arm on her physical corpse, dead body. And what's interesting about, as I'm going through thinking about it, the body wasn't cold. It hadn't been decayed. Nothing was wrong with it. It was kind of full, just like I was talking about the full moon in our bodies. It felt, it just felt lethargic and just kind of like lifeless, but it wasn't cold. It was still, and I won't say warm because I really didn't get the warm, like it was warm, but it still was like, had fluids or something in it. It felt heavy with fluids. That's what I want to say. That's what I'm looking for. And so I told her she had to move the body. It was too heavy for me to move, and she had to do it. Well, anyway, we go past that, and I end up end up at like this dinner table. And I've been eating. Now, it was a woman who was there, and what seems like what's coming through to me is she is some type of guide in another dimension through another portal to allow me to go through somewhere else. Okay, it's the best way I can explain whoever this woman is. And we were at this dinner table and we was eating food. It was me and somebody else. I don't know who the other person was. And we were eating, and she said, you're eating nothing but the starches and sugars. You need to eat more than just the starches and sugars. And I looked down at my plate, and it was like, yeah, I was like, I'm just eating the starches and sugar. So it was something else on my plate. And I would say it was about yay big. It was like almost like some type of walnut or nut or something. But it was like coconut and chocolate. Something else. I don't even know. I just remember coconut and chocolate. And I ate it, and it was sweet. It tastes good. But it wasn't, for whatever reason, this wasn't just starches and sugars. This was something else. So I eat it. When I eat it, immediately, like, I don't know, it's like this flash of opening occurs, like up in here, like in my third eye, like there's this flash, and then the colors become a little brighter within the dream. It's like, and then things kind of get a little flashy and distorted. That's the best way I can try to explain it. It's almost like, okay, like if you take a picture and the flash is on it, it hits your eyes, and the flash is really bright, and you start to see like these little lights or flashes in your eyes. Well, think about that, but they're in this color spectrum. All right, think about seeing various color spectrums. So I was seeing her, I was seeing different things that was in the room space that I was in, but it was in colors, like reds and blue, like the rainbow. It ended up being colors. So that was interesting. I was like, okay, it seems like she's giving me something. I didn't feel like it was doing anything bad to me, but I did feel like it was taking me somewhere else, almost like a dream psychedelic, if you will. That's the best way I can put it. It was a dream psychedelic. Okay, so then the dream jumps, and there's this squirrel that turns into this little boy, and this little boy is with me. Now, I'm always, and if you've heard past dreams, I'm always having like this little boy with me. And I'm thinking this little boy is me. I'm figuring that this little boy, because it's always like a little boy, he's about 2 or 3 years old, and he's always with me. And this squirrel turns into this little boy. Anyway, later on in the dream, the little boy goes through different things with me, but later on in the dream, my son, which is, I have a son, 20 years old in this reality, my son in my dream, I'm asking him to do some things for me or whatever. And because it's like I'm getting ready to have a baby. And he was busy doing something and he couldn't do it and whatever. So it's like I'm at the mall. I end up seeing this guy at the mall that I know, and I'm just like, okay, I think I'm going to leave with you because for whatever reason, I'm getting ready to have this baby. I don't know what happened. I'm pregnant. I'm getting ready to have a baby. So from the mall, I'm outside on like this cliff, and I'm laying forward. I'm laying on my stomach. There's someone on the side and behind me that is like helping me to deliver this baby. But at the same time, it's like I'm getting into a telepathic argument with my son while I'm delivering this baby. So, yeah, that's the dream. Weird, huh? Yeah, so I'm having a baby. I don't know who baby this is. I had a little spiritual baby, y'all. Cosmic, a cosmic baby. I got a cosmic dream baby daddy out here somewhere. And I got a cosmic baby out here with a cosmic baby daddy. But anyway, yeah, that was the dream. So the biggest part of the dream to me, and this is something else I want to discuss. Now, the last few days, I ain't gonna even say a few days. This has been like a couple of weeks. I've been having dreams that feel like it's a message about the internal system. And due to the fact that it is communicating and communicating to me about the internal system, which is also the external system of where we live, it is complicated for me to try to understand at this time. So it's still feeding it to me. I'm still getting fed these dreams that it seemed complicated. It's just like when you first learn how to do calculus or physics. If you know how to do calculus, physics, let's say multiplication. So when you were a child and you first learned how to do multiplication, it just seemed different and weird, and you didn't even really know how the numbers came together or whatever. That's kind of like what I'm learning now. Like when you're learning something new and you can't really grasp it, and it's like, I thought I knew 3 times 3 is what? Is it 3? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really know until you get past that level, and 3 times 3 is 9. Yeah, who knows that? Square root of 9, I know that. You know what I'm saying? So it ends up being easier for you once you learn it. And that's where I am right now. So what's coming to me in my dream messages is internal information. It is putting recognizable characters and energies that I know that pose themselves as people, really are also internal workings of organs, blood system, nervous system, things of that nature of the body, how the body's created, cells and atoms, all of that. I'm seeing the connection of how in the dream state it is lining up these characters, these situations, and this whole situation that occurs, but it's really internal. What I'm receiving is all about the internal, but it's also giving me what's going on externally, outwardly, in the cosmos and the ethers as well, okay? If that can make sense to you. So it came to me yesterday when I was laying in the bed, and I was like, that's what it is. I started to receive revelations on it. So you all, I'm not going to tell you all what you should do for this full moon, because you are water. You can feel the full moon energy. I want you all to go within. You shouldn't have to have anybody tell you what to do for this full moon energy, because everybody has a different assignment, and all you have to do really is just sit back and listen, and the guidance and the information is going to be told to you. Okay, some of you all, like I said yesterday, some people need to sit in silence. People need to have a heart of forgiveness. Somebody needs to apologize to somebody for something that was said or done. Some people need to be open to what's to come. Some people don't need to have so many concrete goals and just be in a state of allowing of what the universe has to come to them so they can receive what they want right now. Because those things that you put out for the new moon is now coming forth in this full moon energy. And by the end of the month, you'll receive it if you're in a state of allowing. So some people need to just work on just being in a relaxed state and not putting so much pressure on themselves. So if you go in, you'll know what to do. All right. So that is my dream. I don't know what that little coconut piece was. If you know, hit me up. So peace and high frequency.